to my peoples. Happy Friday, man. Welcome to another episode of Unspoken Truth Podcast. I love y'all. I hope y'all had an amazing day. We're going to get on into it now. Tonight's topic is transitioning from a boy to a man. And my guest is Darryl. So we're going to jump right on into it. Let me get him on in here. Darryl.
What's happening? What's happening, everybody?
What up? So, tonight's topic is transitioning from a boy to a man. And I think that this conversation is long overdue. So, when you said something to me about it, I'm like, yes, we got to talk about it because I don't want my platform to seem as though I'm one-sided with things
Right.
that we talk about. I want to talk about it all because I understand that everybody has a different perspective and everybody come with their own set of wisdom. So, I appreciate you for being my guest tonight. Shoot, let's just jump on into it because you know more than I'm ever gonna know as far as being a boy and transitioning from that to a man. So let's kind of talk about that a little bit and break it down why you feel like that is a transition or something that must occur in order for a boy to turn from a boy childlike mindset and movement to a man.
Okay. Okay. You see, first of all, as people, all of us, every 10 years, we have to reintroduce ourselves to ourselves. You're not going to be the same
Mm,
person after 10 years. You're not going to be the same person after 20 years. So you
mm,
have to reintroduce yourself to yourself. You understand? When I was coming up, we had the whole neighborhood raise us. The whole neighborhood took responsibility for us.
mm,
Today, it's not happening like that. You know, for an example, I had an incident where I had a young child calling me Darryl, and I said, "Well, you can call me Mr. Darryl, you can call me Mr. McClooney." And his mother went off. I mean, she had the fit, you know. But I'm trying to explain. I'm trying to explain to her if you don't teach your child how to be respectful at an early age, they're not gonna know how to respect you. Period. And then I find out
mm,
that uh, it wasn't about respect to her. What she wanted to do, she wanted to raise friends. Parenting and friendship
mm,
don't go together, and it never will.
mm. Ooh, wait, because I know, and I don't want to stop you because I feel like this conversation we gonna be able to get a lot out, and if for whatever reason we don't get a chance to get it all out, I still want to have a follow up conversation about this because I think it's important, um, especially for me because I'm raising a young man.
Uh huh.
I'm realizing a lot of stuff. So now go back and tell me what you just said as far as if you don't teach them at a young age, then they won't have no respect at all.
Right. See, the thing is, you teach kids how to respect. When I came up, every adult that I spoke to, I had to be yes, ma'am, no, ma'am, yes, sir, no, sir.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. To this
Mm-hmm.
day, I always answer my mother yes, ma'am, and never disrespect my mom. And I see kids today when they talking to their mom, they call their mom by their first name or they cussing at their mom. I don't even cuss at my mom right now around her because it's respect.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and I see over the last generation or so, the kids are being brought up as friends. You know, when they playing with the kids, having them cuss at other grown ups, and they think it's funny and stuff like that. So when these kids get older, what's respect? I always did what I did and always said what I said, so I'm gonna do it now. You know what I'm saying? And then here is a generation raising another generation of disrespectful or people who don't know how to respect. Let's not call it disrespectful. Let's just call them untaught how to be respectful. You know what I'm saying? Because they're not taught. Everything that you go through and everything that you learn in life is a lesson, and you have to
Mm-hmm.
learn because you don't even from walking, from talking, all that's a lesson. Learning
Yeah.
how to respect, learning how to make money, learning how to be honest. All that is respectful. It's
Mm-hmm.
something that you have to learn, you know. But today, when it comes, here's the biggest thing from a boy transitioning to a man is that they need that male role model.
Yeah.
They that child has to bump up against some testosterone while he's coming up. He can't come up and then do it.
Mm-hmm.
Be- because I mean, here's when a woman is raising a child, a woman is an emotional being. So
Mm-hmm. Very. Oh, very. We are very emotional beings. We're absolutely.
right, so all her decisions and moves are based off emotions.
Yes, yes, sir. I agree 1,000, and I've told people that over and over and over the years. That that's just the way we are. I'm not saying that there is no correction to it. I'm just simply saying that is the basis of a woman. Emotions. We are
That's how
built
y'all were
of our
created.
emotions. Yes.
Yeah, yes. And see the way y'all were built, y'all emotions, y'all were given emotion driven spirits to protect your mate, your man, because we don't most men don't operate off emotions.
No.
So you
No.
understand? So your emotions is what balance us out.
Okay. Because I was about to speak to that,
Uh,
because it's a lot of different ways we could go with just that specific statement
yeah,
right there. You know what I
true,
mean?
true
Because
that.
a lot of mothers tarnish their sons by telling them not to be in tune with their emotions because that makes them less than a man. And I've seen the effects of that on the men nowadays, where it's like, no, my mother
True.
said, and me personally, I'm not saying whether it's right or wrong. I just feel that my son has a right to feel his feelings. What he needs to do is learn how to cope and understand them
Yeah, yeah,
and not
yeah. You're
be
right.
being impulsive based off of how he feels. And I feel like that's across the board. That's not just a boy thing, a man thing. That's a people thing. You
When you have a mother who tells a son not to show his emotions, what
Mhm,
that's saying here is that you responded with anger. Because the
mhm,
only emotion that a man is allowed to express and be okay with is anger.
mm,
That's
mm.
it. Have
Okay,
a have a
okay.
man a young man tell his girl at some point that, man, I'm not feeling too good. I'm upset, man. I'm hurting.
Mhm,
For a man to tell a woman that he's hurting, and she looks at him like he weak.
mhm.
In this generation, they look at you like you're weak. You know,
And
and
that's what I'm saying. I'm a firm believer that we all suffering from some type of trauma, whether it be related to mommy, daddy, whatever. It's trauma. And when you don't even acknowledge that for what it is, it's hard for
Mhm.
you to operate in anything else. I feel like a lot of us women suffer from those things because of lack of a example as far as a man, because I've been raised where the father is the first man to either make or break your heart. I definitely know that that contributed to a lot of bad choices as far as men for me, because I feel like you dropped the ball somewhere. But then I also know now, like, was somebody dropped the ball with you? So now, how much of a grudge or anger can I hold against you when it's lack of information, like you said, it's
Mhm.
lack of knowledge that separates the generations. I
Yeah,
believe, you know.
it is. It is. And he when okay in today's generation and back in my generation, the way we address women and the way they address women is, I mean, it is so far.
Mhm,
What I don't understand is, at what point did a woman become comfortable with being called in a bitch?
mm,
That's what I don't understand.
mm,
And with most of these guys, if you comfortable being called that,
yeah.
you're not looking for respect. You're not demanding the respect that you're supposed to have. You know what I'm saying?
I
But
also think it's because they never synced it. We've had, I've done multiple topics on different episodes about emotional things, mental health. A lot of people don't know what healthy look like because they never seen it. So
Yeah, but
how can I duplicate something that I never seen or that was not privy to me or I didn't have access to? How do
you,
I
you know,
duplicate that?
do you know how back in my generation when we didn't have that around us, you know how we got it from other elders. We respected our elders enough to listen and learn from them. They know,
Mhm.
I was sitting up here the other day, and my grandson was telling me a story about him and his friends one day, and he told me one of his friends had punched this old lady and knocked something out of her hand or whatever. So I asked him, I said, well, I said, and you thought that was funny? He said it was funny at the time. I said, but if somebody would have done that to your mother, how would you have felt? I would be
Mhm.
mad. I say, but what if that lady had a gun and the person shot all of y'all? Because she had a right to do it to defend herself.
Mhm.
I say, so here's the thing: if you can't protect somebody who can't protect herself, what good are you?
Yeah.
As a man, you are a naturally born protector. That protector doesn't only fall upon your family.
Right.
That protector falls in where somebody needs you to protect them who can't
Mhm.
protect themselves. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
But these men are not learned. They're not learning how to be protectors today. They think that protecting themselves is carrying a gun.
Mm. Okay.
You know what?
Ooh, and don't I know that because I mean, and as far as the things that's going on here, that type of stuff been going on for a long time at this point.
It,
Um,
it, mm. My
I'm
son,
watching these little young boys, I'm telling you, like 13, 14, 15 years
yeah,
old with guns.
yeah. Here's the
And
issue with that.
you hear that conversation, it's like, yeah, because I'm busting at whoever, and I don't care if it's women or kids around or not. It's like there is no respect, period. I honestly can say for the woman, but I
Yeah,
also feel like we contribute to that. Why we don't get as much respect as we know we deserve. We contribute to that by the things that we settle and accept
yeah.
that we know is not
Mm.
right. You
That's
know what I mean?
and you right. You right about that. And I'm gonna say this: April 3rd, 2021. My son was murdered.
Hmm. I'm so
My
sorry.
son, my son was shot in the head.
Hmm.
It was three guys standing there, and my son like we can work. We can work. I mean, I take on all y'all. And one of the guys said we don't fight, and just shot him in the head. Shot him in the head. My son was an entrepreneur, had his own business. He liked to go out and everything, but he was a man first. And I always told him, you solve your problems with your hand. That way you can walk away. If you lose, you can be able to fight another day.
Hmm.
You know what I'm
But
saying? But
these
if you,
days, these fools, they don't know how to fight. They don't know how to take a whooping and go on about your business. They don't
and
know how to do that.
you know what to blame that on? You blame that on social media
Mm.
because it internalizes that whooping. It makes it eternal.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Okay.
saying? And then there's a saying from the Bible: pride comes before the fall.
Yes.
And everybody who carries a gun are only carrying it to protect their pride. They're not carrying it to protect themselves. They're not carrying it to protect their family. They're carrying it to protect their pride. You know what I'm saying?
Mm.
I tell people every day, I don't care if you like me. You have a right not to like me, but you
Mm-hmm.
will respect me.
Yep.
And that's it. And I'll give you your respect, but you will respect me.
Mm-hmm. I think
I'm
a lot
not.
of people expect to have respect and they don't earn it. At least that's how I was taught. Respect
Yeah,
is earned. It's not just given just because you say like, "Give me my respect." No, you have to give me a reason to respect you. I think that's
you're
just
right.
my opinion. Nobody may agree with that, but that's just my opinion because that's the way I was raised. Where it's
Hmm.
like, no, you have to earn that respect. I'm not just
Yeah,
gonna give it to you because you such and such to me or because we got such and such connection. No, I literally had to earn it.
Right. It is. It's an exchange.
Yeah.
Respect. You can't demand. You can't. Here's the thing. Respect is like freedom. You got to do what you got to do to get it. You got to do what you got to do to keep it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
If you
I like that. I like that.
keeping it, you're gonna lose it.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Today, I don't know. As far as the young men today, a lot of the men are operating on emotion, and they are what we call reactive. Don't they react to the situation without thinking or anything?
Yeah.
So that cuts out the process of you know what we call that cuts out the process. If you just gonna react because of what you heard, and then you didn't hear it from the source, you heard it from somebody else, and then you gonna react. You just cut out the process of critical thinking
Yeah.
because today,
Oh.
yeah.
Oh, just let me stop you right there because today, and shout out to my manager. We had a little disagreement about this
Hmm.
particular thing because I said these kids nowadays are overstimulated.
Very much so.
That I don't. It's not up for debate. That's the truth. Here's how I know, because now I'm a grandmother. And certain things that I've watched other people do in reference to their grandchildren that I refuse to do with mine. One of them is always passing an electronical something in their hands and letting them
Hmm.
play on it for hours on end and not monitoring it or having no parental control over who they talking to, what they doing or not. It's a lot of sick people in this world, man. And whatever happened to us doing something in the physical? You understand what I'm saying? We
I
play
do.
outside. We know how to do things that don't require a cell phone or a laptop or a tablet, and we did just fine. We did just fine.
Yeah.
I honestly used to have to get called in the house because I was having too much fun.
And the
I
street
knew
lights
that I
came on.
needed to be in the house by a certain time, but I was having too much fun. So now my parents out there screaming, "Hey man, get in the house. You supposed to been in the house. It's dark." Now
Hmm.
we got ain't even a
There's no
curfew.
curfew. They
Ain't
the
no
law,
curfew for these kids now. It's
and
like,
that's why the law had to put a curfew in play.
mm,
The law had to put a curfew in play because the parents are not going to do it. Listen, most of the parents who have kids are afraid of their own child
yeah.
because
We talked about this. Now we talked about this last night. You know, I I'm a strong believer. I've seen it.
Mhm. Yeah,
I don't need nobody to try to convince me. I've seen it where parents refuse to put their foot down and do what they know is right as far as being a parent. You you already know right from wrong. Just from being born and experiencing certain things from birth to whatever age, okay? So I don't think that's an excuse for you not to lay down the law because this is
hmm
what I believe. If you don't respect your parents, you won't respect nobody else.
no, you know,
And I
you're not.
stand
But
on it. I stand on
you,
it. If
you're
you
right.
won't even respect the two people who brought you here, you will not respect anybody else. Because why would you? You don't
Yeah.
even respect the sacred grounds in which the people who brought you here walk.
You know what? That is perfect what you're talking about. But here's the issue. Here's the issue. You are made by two people,
Mm-hmm.
but you are raised by one. And the one
Mm-hmm.
that helped make you got every excuse in the world why he can't be in your life. Now he takes his excuses and put them on her, and she take her excuses and put it on him. So now you got a child that's so confused
Yes.
because he want to be loved, but don't nobody want to love him. So he gonna find his love wherever he can find it. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? I got a friend. Him and his kid's mother, they don't get along. He has his kids. He raised. I told this dude, I am so proud of him and what he do every day. He take his kids on trips. He take them to their games. And then every time they go with his mother, it's always something. I said, listen,
Mm-hmm.
I said, one thing you don't do, don't ever badmouth their mother. Always show respect when you're talking about it. And when you're ever talking to her, if you think it's going to get heated, don't do it around the kids. You set the example for them to be right. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
That's the thing. The separation in the family when it comes to raising young men is the biggest cornerstone to failure that these young men face.
Mm-hmm.
Because have a male figure step in some at some point.
Well, let's talk about that because how did we get there? I'm just now starting to accept the things that I knew nothing about because
Right.
you got to accept that part first before you can accept anything else.
It started. It, it
Here's what we did as mothers, and I'm not stepping on nobody's toes, and I'm not down talking or tearing none of us down because all of us have our stripes and our victories with being a parent.
hmm,
But as a mother, when raising children, period, what we have done in exchange for the help, the assistance, aka WIC, food stamps, medical, Section 8, amongst other things, what
hmm,
we have done as the sole guardian is exchange though for that help. The
for
exchange
family
was not
structure.
having the father,
Yeah.
them being able to dictate whether or not he be present. That is what ultimately broke the black household down. And I feel like it was very intentional. It wasn't,
It was.
it was very intentional
Yes,
about
it
you
was.
guys doing that. Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. And I
Yeah.
mean, it's staying with the system, you know, and this is probably something else we could talk about on another day, but the system was created to do what it's doing.
Yeah.
So,
But the thing about a system is you got to feed into the system in order for it to work.
mhm. And
Okay.
that's where I'm saying, like, we keep fighting about a system that they created to do what it's doing. It's
It's
a For me personally, it's a waste of time. We could be using that energy to come together and build our own because that is how we sustain ourselves. That's how we thrive. That's how we grow.
mm, that's that's a valid point. Down here, I'm in South Carolina.
Okay.
There's a Mexican store up the street from me. Nobody works in there but Mexicans.
Hmm.
That's it. That's it. The whole store is you got your Mexican cooks, your Mexican stockers, all that. Everybody's Mexican. We need to come together. The thing is that when we come together and we start businesses and we try to help ourselves out, it always winds up with one of us plotting against that person that's trying to help everybody out. You know what I'm
Hmm.
saying? So it's like if not most of the times you'll hear a black person say, "Man, I hate going in the hood stores because the customer service ain't the way it should be." You know what I'm saying? And it's a lot of things that we say against each other instead of we teaching each other.
Well, yeah, man, that's something else we could talk about too. I mean, as much as people want to avoid the elephant in the room, the Willie Lynch syndrome still lives.
Oh yeah. Oh
And we've been taught to not like ourselves. So anybody who looks like us or reminds us of us, we don't like. And that is, we still suffering from that. We still suffering from that. I'm not saying that it can't be fixed. I'm not saying that everybody is that way, but I'm saying we can still see the effects of what they put down 500 years ago.
yeah. But you know why? I'm gonna tell you one of the reasons I believe that it's still in effect because black people, most of our young people, and even most of our old people now today are unteachable. They're
Mm.
unteachable.
Oh, well,
You know,
I'm gonna tell you, you you got to remain a student in this life.
always.
This
Always.
is a fact. If you don't remain a student in this life and you start feeling like I know it all and there is nothing else to be learned, this is and this may make you laugh right here, Darryl. But this is when God starts smacking you on the back of your neck with that sandal. You,
Hmm.
you understand what I'm saying? Because
Right,
to him, you making a mockery out of who
right,
he is and what he can do.
right.
So again, you got to tread lightly with
You're right.
certain things for real. But because boy, we got so much to cover. You talked about lack of male interaction with males is depriving them of the courage to be men.
That's correct.
Explain, man, because
Here's the thing. If you have a man around you, a man can control himself when he has to control himself.
okay,
A woman will respond out of emotions. Either she'll lash out, either she'll cry, either she'll shut down. Being raised by a mother, a lot of times those are the things that those males do.
we
And
teach
but
them that. That's what you're
exactly,
saying.
you
Okay.
right. You don't have to say this is what you do. And what everybody got to understand is that kids don't learn with their ears. They learn with their eyes. So they watch you and they mimic.
Yep.
They watch you and they mimic. Okay.
The
So
duplication.
right. So then as they do that, and then some of their friends tell them, "Oh man, you stop acting like a girl." So then they do the lashing out.
Mm-hmm.
Then they do the lashing out. So now they become over aggressive with everything. When you
Mm-hmm.
try to tell them, listen, man, this not what you. This is not that. They get over aggressive.
Yeah.
But here's the thing, it's a facade because they don't want the aggression.
Mm-hmm.
Because as soon as you step back with aggression, then it's a whole nother what's I don't know what to do now.
Mm-hmm.
You know
Well,
what
I
I'm
don't know, because my son, and I learned this from him. He said, if you stop approaching me with aggression, I'll stop responding that way. And I wanted I wanted to beat him up and hug him at the same time. But it was the first time I really respected him for sharing his mind and
saying?
it actually making sense, because here I am like, and you don't listen, and not even realizing that whatever I give out is what I get back. And that's basically what he was telling me.
That's true.
You
That is
know,
true.
I don't think I would have realized it if he wouldn't have pointed it out for me. I agree 1,000% at
I learned that. I
totally
learned that.
everything I know as a woman, because I've been
Mhm.
told by men that most women who raise sons raise them to be the men that they wouldn't even date.
That's
Do,
true.
do you agree with that?
I agree 100%.
Wow.
I agree 1%. Because
Wow.
let's do this. Let's do this.
Mm,
Let's go about this question that's been going across the internet and all the social media platforms.
okay.
The question of who do you feed first?
Okay. Oh, wait. Woo! Yes, let's talk about it. Okay. Because
Okay.
I done been asked this question. Now, I've been a wife, I've been single, I've been a mother. So I understand the concept. But if you smart and you a critical thinker, you will not be played by this question. If you
Right.
make everybody's plate at the same time and everybody gets served at the same, it ain't no about who gonna get fed first. We about to sit down and eat together. So that is not even a problem for us to even be discussing, in my opinion. What I feel like is, instead of y'all using that to change the narrative of we're no longer doing that, and that's something that
Hmm.
we need to go back to doing, y'all tried to flip that and make it into something for us to battle about. It's not up for discussion. These are facts. When we was sitting down at the table and was asking everybody how their day was and what they feeling and what happened to them for the day and what they going through, life was better.
Hmm. It
Period.
was. It
Life
was.
was
We,
better because we were taking the time out to actually talk to each other. I feel like
yeah.
that's why these kids are very overstimulated, because we're no longer doing the basics. just having a
Here,
conversation. Is
it,
we didn't
yeah,
got so messed up as people that we will walk past each other and not even acknowledge that we just walked past another human being.
oh yeah, oh yeah. Here's another thing. The last time you went out to eat and you saw people out to eat, you saw people at the table, but they was on their phone. They was on their cell phones rather than engaging and enjoying this moment while they was
Hmm.
out.
But that's the
Okay.
very reason why they created the cell phone, is to make sure we have a constant distraction and not be
Uh huh.
tapped in into what's really going on in our households, in our neighborhoods, in our culture. And we didn't had enough of that, just in different ways. So it's really disheartening to see us still falling for the okie doke. Cause that's how I feel
And it's,
about it.
yeah, and it's getting worse. It's not getting any better.
Oh no,
It's
no.
not. It's not. I mean,
It's got to
it's,
get worse before it gets better. This is what I've been told. And I'm really starting to believe it, because
yeah.
if it was the other way around, we would already start seeing some type of improvement, some type of kickback,
But
some type of.
but here's the thing: we're not raising nobody to take the charge. There's
Mhm.
you do you understand what I'm saying?
Absolutely. Yes, I do.
So
Yes, I
so
do.
so I mean, these are some young, brilliant young men that's out here, but
Mm.
they lacking one thing. There's three things that you got to understand about a man. A man is respectful. A man listens, and the man stands out because he's always the quietest one in the room because he can't talk and still know what's going on around him.
Hmm.
It's not possible. You know what I'm saying? And when you got all these young guys, and when I was coming up, I had like three friends that I dealt with, and that we went out, we went to where the women was at. We went to where the girls was at. Today you'll find 6, 7 dudes sitting in the house all day smoking weed with each other, with
Yeah.
each other. That's
But
not
you know
natural.
what? I feel like that happened because majority of them were raised by women. They seek that masculine energy from wherever they can get it from. It just so
But
happens to
but
be
it's
they.
not there. It's not there. Listen, if I'm in a room and with a bunch of other meals, and I don't know what it is to have a mentor as a male, and they don't know what it is, I'm not gonna get it from them.
Mm.
I can't get it from them because they don't know. We don't know. You know,
So why do you think that a lot of men would choose their friends over their women?
because when you choose a woman, it puts you into a position of responsibility.
Hmm. Oh, now that's so good right there.
Yeah,
That's so. Ooh, and so, okay, because now this is starting to make a whole lot of sense. A lot of men retreat from relationships because they don't want responsibility. That's
yeah,
what you're saying to me,
yeah,
right?
exactly,
Okay, make a
exactly.
whole. Oh, that make a whole lot of sense. It make a
Yeah.
whole lot of sense.
And then
Okay.
and then you got to understand that most males who are raised by single parents seen all the drama that their mother was going through with her boyfriends and all this and all that. So
Mm-hmm. Okay.
now you remember most men look for women like their mother, and most
Yep.
daughters look for women like their
Promise
fathers.
you. Yep. And I
Okay,
stand on that. I stand
yeah,
on it. So if your mother is toxic
you
and
gonna have
wasn't
somebody like that.
loving and nurturing to you, those are the women that you're going to attract. See,
Exactly.
people think that you attract who you want. No, no, you attract who you are. If
Yeah.
you are not a good person, that's exactly what's going to keep coming your way, because that's who you are. We
Right.
we essentially are mirrors of each other, is what I tell my kids, because it's the
Hmm.
truth. We interact with each other as far as different genders so that certain things could be shown to us about us. Do you follow
Right.
what I'm saying?
I agree. I
From
agree.
the opposite sex, it has to
Yeah.
happen. But we so unconscious about what's happening that we don't even get the message. It
Right.
we drop the ball.
Here's the message. Women get it twice as bad as these young boys. And I'm gonna tell you why.
Mm,
Because the girl see her mother dealing with these dudes and this dude and this dude, and there's no one showing her how to be treated as a woman. And then she gets this hard shell. She got to be hard to protect herself. Then she
Mhm.
get with this dude, and he don't know how to respect her. So he gonna get mad. So man, she too hard and all this and all that. But this is her protective mode. She's not doing it because she want to. She's doing it because she has to.
Mm.
You know what I'm
Two
saying?
different things. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
Makes sense because I swear you describing me too. Don't read me like that, girl.
so
You describing me to the T.
right.
Mm-hmm.
So the one thing I found, I had an interaction as a Christian. I had an interaction with a guy who was a 5% Muslim,
Okay.
and this dude was real aggressive, real aggressive. And one day I told my dude, I said, man, I'm gonna break this dude's neck today if he come messing with me today. My dude told me, he said, man, he said, you ain't gotta break his neck, show him love.
Mm-hmm.
I said, what you mean, Sean? I said, just show him love. So when he came, I was sitting there, I was reading my Bible, I closed my Bible, and I said, brother, what's going on? And this dude was acting out and acting a fool because he didn't know how to pray. He wanted somebody to pray for his grandmother because she was sick. Now, had I reacted the way I planned on reacting instead of using the power that God gave us, which is love, that can change anybody
It
and it
showed.
can change any situation.
Oh yes.
So, so by showing him that love, I never had another problem with that brother ever after that. Never.
I'm a firm believer the loudest person got the most problems.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
For real. Like it's not the little person that barely gets heard or seen, it's the person who is the loudest in the room.
Do you know
They
why
got
they
the
got the
most
problem?
problems.
Because you're supposed to listen twice as much as you speak.
Yep. And that's why I
This is
tell my son you got two ears so you can hear twice as much and one mouth so you can speak once. It's a difference.
right.
If you always talking, how can you listen? Because you cannot do both at the same time.
Right.
It's
I tell
impossible.
I tell my son, I say, when he started dating, I say, these are the three things I need you to remember. The same thing she brought to the relationship is the same thing she can take away from the relationship.
Mm-hmm.
Just because she let you have it, don't mean you own it.
Mm. Oh, now that's good. Woo!
And I
Woo!
tell him, I said, listen, I said, listen, if you jump through hoops to get her, then you need to jump through hoops to keep her.
Mm.
That's it.
Mm.
See, and I keep,
So
and I
who do you think taught us that we needed to chase? Because to
to
me, I feel like that's a trauma response. I'm not about to chase nobody. There's a
it is.
difference between chasing and courting. I feel like if I gotta chase you, you don't want to be caught. If
And you're
that
right.
makes any sense.
Yeah,
If
most
you're
people,
courting me, that means you actually putting in the effort and energy to gain the relationship,
most people who
right?
chase, yeah, most people who chase are people who have issues that they need to deal with themselves.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Because if you was sure yourself, okay, you don't want this, okay, I'll see you later, and then and move on. But a lot of people who chase in relationships or uh, play those games, they got issues that they need to deal with themselves. You know what I'm
Mm-hmm.
saying? You don't if you want to be into a relationship with somebody, then as a man, you do what you need to do to be in a relationship. But I always told him, if you don't want to be in a relationship, don't lead her on and be honest.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's nothing wrong with saying, listen, I'm not looking for a relationship. We can be friends, or I'm not looking for a relationship. I just want to have fun.
Mm-hmm.
I firmly believe that honesty is the best policy.
Mm-hmm.
But today, it's the
People
women saying,
can't be real with themselves, girl. How they gonna be real with somebody else? Woo. And they don't want to do the work. I'm
no.
constantly gonna be an advocate for the mental and emotional stability that we lack as a people.
Hmm.
Um, you got to do the work, and we are not building relationships where we want to be fixed by each other because that is not the way things go. You supposed to be working on whatever is necessary for you personally. My job as your significant other is to support you through that, but I'm not your therapist. And I don't want to fix you. I want to help you and support you while you fix yourself. Because all of us got some stuff that we could work on, because some of us have
But
seen different things and experienced different things in this
but
life.
let me tell you what God said. God said you would help me.
Hmm.
He said you would help me. You would help him meet his stability. You're to help him meet his full potential. You're to help him meet his goals. You are his helpmate. So that makes you his therapist. Now we're gonna
Okay.
keep it
Oh,
100.
okay. Oh, I wasn't
Keep it
ready. Okay.
100.
Okay.
so,
Hey, I'm here to learn and also speak about what I think. Just because I'm saying stuff don't mean that is no truth or fact about it. We're having a very interesting, open, transparent conversation. So, this is what I thought. I'm not gonna lie. Thank you. Thank you, Pooh.
there's,
Um,
you know what? I
you
fear.
also talked to me about removing the man and the father from the house was the first step to contributing to the state that we are in, as far as the men, the boys.
Yeah, as far as the boys. Yeah, you can't. To be, and we said this already. A woman cannot raise a man to be a man
Nope.
because there are certain attributes that a man has to instill into a man.
Yes.
You
Hmm.
know, they can raise good sons, but there's certain things that they can't give a man. You know, there are certain conversations that they can't have with a man. You know what I'm saying?
Hmm.
Those are the things that a male figure has to instill in them. You know, it's like I said with my son, we have open conversations. You know
Yeah.
what I'm saying? And right now, I got my grandson, and he's a handful. But when he puts himself in danger, that's when I let him know. That's when I get serious with him. If he do something that I feel will hurt him or something like that, that's when I get serious with him. But most of the time, it's talking. And most of the time, you know, it's getting him to understand. You know, but then
Yeah.
he got his granny. You know what I'm saying? And that's
Hmm.
what he gets a lot of his love from her. She likes to hug on him and kiss on him and all that. So in
Hmm.
return, after he does that with her, he comes over and do it with me. I can't push him away.
Yeah.
I'll give him a hug. I'll give him a kiss. And
Well,
but
you know what? That plays in the point of who taught us that disciplining our kids meant getting physical, because my daughter is on my Instagram right now, and I don't know who else is chimed in right now, but I wasn't a big whooper for my kids.
mhm,
And I'm not saying that it don't work, but what I'm saying is eventually the child gets numb. So then it's not even effective. So
right,
at what point do you think that we started as a people it just accepting that to be the only way to discipline our children? Because I'm listening to you say the way you choose to talk to your grandchild and your son as opposed to spanking them so that they understand, you feel as a man is more effective than a constant beatdown.
right. Because if you talk, then you're teaching them to communicate.
Yes. Hmm.
Because
Hmm.
whenever I talk, I always say, "Man, I feel that you did this, or I saw that you did this, and you put yourself in danger. And if this would have happened, this is how I would have felt." So
Okay.
when I break it down, I tell him. But to ask where I think the whoopings came in, it came in from slavery.
Okay.
That was the only correction that we knew.
Hmm.
So every time we were supposedly done something, we got beat.
Yeah.
So it just
Cool.
it sticked.
Yeah. Cause my
So
grandma ain't play. She go out there and get you 2, 3 switches, bring them on in here. I'm gonna
mhm.
wet them, braid them,
after
and
you
go.
yeah, after you got done, it looked like you got hit with a whip, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
Slavery, slavery.
Mm. See,
It's a learned behavior.
see how absolutely. Oh, that's so
You
good.
know?
Absolutely. A lot of the things that we do are learned behaviors. It didn't
Yeah,
make it right. And I tell
no,
people that all the time, just because you learned it didn't mean that it was right and that it should be passed down to the next generation. At some point, somebody got to break the chain.
yeah, that is true.
Who? And if everybody before us solved all the problems that we have as a people, as a whole, then it wouldn't be nothing left for nobody to come after them to solve or help or attend or have a purpose really here if everything was already done.
Yeah, that's true. The black race needs to change its mindset. We
Mm-hmm. Sure.
edu,
Yeah.
education wise, we need to learn. We need to learn about finances. You can ask anybody what is the debt. What is your debt to credit ratio, and they wouldn't be able to tell you.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I teach my grandson this. He's 5 years old.
Yeah.
I teach him this.
Well, we
Okay,
didn't,
what?
they didn't want us to know that. Now we privy to a lot more information than we was. And I'm an 80s baby.
Yeah,
They didn't want us to know that. They told us what was going to be ahead in the future. And I don't think that we actually believed it. You know what I mean? It's like being told something and you like, okay, I heard you, but until I can physically see it with my two eyes, I don't believe it.
let me tell you something. The schools that we went to was there to train us to understand that we are inferior to white people.
Right.
This is this is
Right.
why this
Yep.
is why we had 1 month of Black History and the rest of the months of slavery.
Yeah.
You know what
Yeah.
I'm saying? This is why we were lied to about Columbus coming here first when there was already black indigenous people here. You
Yes.
know,
Mhm.
so everything that we learned in school, throw it away. It ain't gonna do you no good.
No. And
You have to.
that's an important thing though, that we need to get back to educating our own children, because
You know,
nobody can tell you about us but us. So I find it ironic because you got all these colleges and different schools where they teaching predominantly white students black history. What do y'all need to We are the most studied species on the planet, and y'all still haven't figured out who we is and why we can do the
let,
things that we can do.
let me ask you a question. Uh, February was Black History Month, quote unquote. Right. So in this Black History Month, if you paid attention to everything that was going on, you had in that same month a celebration for the LBQT community.
Oh
You
God.
had the celebration. You had a celebration for the Chinese New Year.
Mm-hmm.
You you had a celebration for women's live. And you had all that. Well, all that was done to take away from the fact it was Black History Month. You
Mm-hmm.
understand? So uh, Black history is 365 days a year
It sure
because
is.
we live it.
Yeah.
We live it. Okay. Now I'm a firm believer that each one teach one.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? And a lot of the times, people don't want to hear what you got to teach because that means they had to stop doing something or move back towards something better.
Mm-hmm.
You
They
know?
don't want to grow. People don't want to grow. They want to reap the harvest from the seeds, but they don't want to do the work. And that's what I was just saying a few minutes ago. If you keep trying to avoid the work, then you never gonna settle your mess. And it's just
This-
gonna keep following you.
yeah. Here's an example. The most interesting thing on this planet is a tree, and you know why?
Mhm.
Because a tree grows two ways. A tree, when you put it in the ground, when you plant the seed in the ground, it grows down into the dirt, in the dark, with no sun. And then once it
Mhm.
breaks the ground, it grows towards the sun. What
Mhm.
that means is that when you working as a human, if you take that analogy, and as you working as an analogy, the things you do behind the scene is the things that will be manifested in front of people in the light.
Yep.
So, so
For sure.
life is not easy, you know. And the term that I use a lot when I'm talking to my grandson or my son is you gonna meet life on life terms.
You sure is.
You have
Woo-wee.
you
You
have to,
sure is. Woo.
you know. And I lost my brother on the 29th of
Mhm.
April last year.
Yep.
I lost my brother. Before I lost my brother, I had a conversation with my brother. I said, God only saves you so many times.
Mhm.
Stop doing what you're doing because He covered you when you should have been gone.
Yeah.
A
Yeah.
week later, he was gone.
Mm.
Uh, And people don't want to hear the truth, but I walk in truth. If
Mhm.
that's what he did and that's what happened, it is what it is. I love him, I miss him, but I told him, it was gonna happen sooner or later. It happened,
Mhm.
and it's just going back to these young men today. I think that most of them are scared. I think
Mhm.
they're scared. I think they're scared to be men, and I
Mhm.
think that's why. I think that's why they hang around with in groups with like-minded people.
Oh, oh.
Because if you had somebody in that group that had a different mindset,
Mhm.
it disrupts the flow. You understand
Mm.
what I'm saying? It
Oh,
disrupts the flow. And by far, don't get me wrong. I don't think that none of these black men walking the streets are dumb. I just think they're incapable of thinking.
mm. And that is crucial at this point in the
It
game.
is.
Woo! If you can't be a critical thinker and think on your own, you already losing. And it
You're
doesn't
right.
matter who you are, you already losing because they banking
Right.
on you just following suit and doing whatever it is that the masses is doing because
You're
that's
right.
that's what we are accustomed to, most of us anyway.
And that's
I
why
ain't
they build
new.
houses for you. That's
Mm-hmm.
why they build houses for you. They call penitentiaries.
Yeah, yeah,
Now,
because they.
now here's a system.
Mm.
Here's a system that was built.
I tell my son, and you can tell me if this is accurate or not, but I feel like public schooling is the pipe way to prison.
It is.
Okay.
Listen, here's the thing. Public school it has two pipeways. It has a V. It has a Y.
Yeah.
Public school trains you to stay into the rat race as a
Yep.
worker,
Yep.
and it sets you up to go to prison.
Mm-hmm.
Sets you up to go to prison. Now that they have private prisons, the justice system, also is set up for you to go to prison.
Mm-hmm. Sure
Okay,
is.
because some of these judges are getting paid off to send people away.
They sure are.
And the thing is, the reason why it's happening is because we're not studying the law. We're not studying the law.
Yeah.
If you
We don't
if
know. We don't know that there are certain things as far as
there
law. We don't understand that there's law.
civil and criminal,
No,
civil
when I
and
say
criminal,
that, I mean law of the sea, law of the land. We don't even know the basics. So
right?
it's going to be hard for us to even try to learn criminal or civil or any of that because we
No,
won't even take the time to learn the basics.
right, and this is what it is. Uh, if you would learn maritime law, common law, and all that, then you
Yeah,
would understand when you go into that court system, there are certain things that you can say and beat every case
yeah, sure
because
is.
it's law.
Hmm.
But
But they know by based off of your response to the things they saying to you that whether or not you know that information or not.
right,
And they
and you
banking on you not knowing that information.
right, and but if you stand fast, they have to answer the question, and it has to be put on record.
Hmm.
You know, and I'll send you something on that later so we can talk about that down the line.
Okay. You also talked about the government and society has made women believe they don't need a man. This one right here, boom, I'm talking about set me ablaze, okay? Because I hear it so much. I
The,
ain't
the
never
funny,
felt like I didn't need a man. I ain't never felt like that. What I did feel like I didn't allow myself to heal in between relationships, but I ain't never just felt like I ain't need no man. Oh yeah, I need a man. I need a man to open up my door, pull out my chair, pump my gas. Oh yeah, I need a man to cuddle and to do some
well,
more things. I need a
you
man.
you
I
know
so do.
you let me tell you the biggest lie that's out there. Strong, independent woman. That is the biggest lie, and I'm gonna tell you why. I'm gonna tell you why it's the biggest lie.
Ooh.
Because every so-called strong, independent woman who goes to bed by herself at night, who has to go to job, who gets up and go to work, first one there, last one there, she has no life. She don't have kids. She can't have a relationship because she don't know how to have a relationship. Her relationship is with her job. You know what I'm saying?
Mm-hmm.
A,
Ooh.
a
Yep.
woman cannot make a baby without another man. without a man. She can't make a baby without a man. You know what I'm saying? So if there's a need, and then people say, well, she can go to the sperm bank. Yeah, but guess what? She got the sperm from? It was a man.
Mm-hmm.
He had to put
No
it in
matter
the bank.
what, we can't get away from how this thing go. And that's
Yeah,
what they really doing. They implementing certain things. They removing the books and the shows and all of the information that tells a mommy and a daddy is the only way to get here. I
yeah.
don't care if you're two women, two men, y'all cannot make no baby without
Right.
the assistance of technology
But
or a
that's the
surrogate or
but that's
something.
that's the new birth control. Homosexuality is the new birth control in my eyes. Same sex relationships are the new form of birth control. And then if you look at
Woo!
it,
Yeah,
if you
because the mission was always to depopulate
yeah,
for us to they've been trying to kill us off.
right.
We can talk about that on another episode, but yes. And if it continues, I mean, these surgeries got these people really looking like they real women. And
Yeah.
it's getting to the point where men don't know the difference from a natural woman and a woman that they put together to look like a woman.
It's
Or
not that they don't know the difference, it's that they don't care. You gotta
mm,
understand that a lot of times
ooh, wait. You said they don't care.
they don't care.
Whoa, stop right there. When you say they don't care, what you saying, girl? Like
It's a
it
lot
don't
of
matter to them because they got a hole and that's all that explain. Like,
listen, let me tell you something.
woo.
I did 5 years in the Feds. Some of the stuff that I saw in the Feds, and then some of the dudes that I saw in the Feds, and then when I got on the street, they were straight, but they wasn't when they was inside.
Well, and we know that. And I've done
Right.
an episode on Down Low Niggas. I said these is the boys that y'all dap up and call legends and this and that, and they secretly tops and bottoms.
Yeah.
It
It's,
bothers me. It bothers me because then y'all, I feel like y'all, these men that we talking about, they go after straight women, create families with them, knowing that that is not the lifestyle in which they actually want to live. And to me, I
mhm.
think that's wrong because now you're trapping kids in some mess that they shouldn't even been brought here to experience and have to live through. This is this is you supposed to be standing and walking in your truth. If you like men, you like men.
Yeah.
You like women, you like women. To me,
But
it's just thing got to a point where society has made us think we can be this nosy about who somebody land with. I never cared.
I don't
I
listen.
never, I don't care. It's
This
not a
what it
problem
is.
to me.
No, you shouldn't care because, and I tell this to people, what you eat don't make
Mhm.
me shit. I don't care. Do
Yep.
what you gonna
That's
do.
exactly how I feel.
Okay.
Whoa.
So do what you gonna do. But
Uh-huh.
uh, it is to the point they don't care. And if you pay attention, there's been guys who's been married, and then you
Mhm.
catch them at the gay bar when they still trying to play both
And
sides.
that's what I'm saying. That is the worst to
Oh,
me.
that's nothing. If you pay attention to what's going on, first of all they tried to attack us with this HIV.
Hmm.
Okay, then they tell you, well, we got this medicine that make you undetectable, which means you can't spread it.
Mm.
So now you got people who got it that's having sex with people who don't got it, but not telling them
Hmm.
that they got it. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
it's all a game of destruction, and we feed into it. We
Yeah.
feed into it, and
Yeah.
and
Absolutely.
like the Bible says, my people die from lack of knowledge.
Hmm.
One of
Yeah.
the smartest races, one of the smartest races on this earth is the black race. And
Hmm.
I had a white guy say to me one time, well, shit, if you don't like it, go back to Africa. I said, if we go back to Africa and take everything that we invented with us, y'all wouldn't be able to do shit. Y'all be in the Stone Ages. Think about it.
No, that's truth. No, that's
Yeah, it's
true.
true.
Because this whole country was built off of blood, sweat, and tears of our people.
Yeah.
That's fact.
But everybody who went through something got reparation except for us.
Hmm.
The Jews.
But the reparations was given to the owners. It was not going to be given to us. See, I didn't
I'm
do
talking about
so much
after.
homework on that. Yeah, but I'm saying they had never had no intentions on giving us none.
No, no.
For
But
what?
here's the
Our
thing. Here's
slave
the thing.
owners, y'all slave owners. I was not gonna pay
Why?
y'all.
Why would they? Why the Jews got theirs? Because they unified.
Hmm.
They
We the
got
only
together.
culture that can't do that. We don't
The
have a
Hispanic, the
camaraderie.
Hispanics got theirs because they unified.
Hmm.
I don't got mine because if I'm trying to get mine, I got to worry about a person who look like me taking mine.
Hmm. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And 9 times out of 10, and it's like we losing too many young brothers.
Yeah.
We losing too many young brothers, and we're not losing them because uh, because they was doing the right thing or whatever. We losing them for straight ignorance.
Yeah.
Somebody pride got hurt, and they took their life because they pride got hurt.
Yeah. Or they
You-
ego.
Yeah, yeah.
Hmm.
You know,
Yeah.
and I listen. I tell you in a minute. I don't care what you feel about me, what you say about me, whatever. My defense mechanism come in when you put your hands on me. It'll come to try to put your hands on my family. Other than that, you can do and say what you want to say.
Hmm. Because it's a
You
free
know,
country.
Exactly.
At least
And I
that's
tell
what
people,
y'all told us. Like,
and that when you got people like that, and then people come in and say, "Well, such and such and say that," okay, I'm cutting you off too. I
hmm.
ain't got to deal with you. I don't do he say she say. I don't do you coming back trying to tell me what somebody said. I don't do it. You know.
You also talked about it not being enough men being the example to what a man is supposed to be. And that is
It,
because they never synced it.
you're right. A lot of times, here's the thing. A lot of times, you got these young boys. They admire the quote unquote successful dope dealer, or they got these rappers who ain't never lived a thug day in their life, talking about being a thug, carrying a gun, and killing.
Tajay, what you mean? She said, cuz why were they comfortable telling you? Telling me what? I'm sorry. I was just reading the
Uh,
comments. Tajay was asking me a question. I want to make sure I answer everybody. I'm not sure what the question is for me to answer it. Ah, you so funny, Tajay. She talking about the topic. Um, you also talked about a lot of older men are fearful of these young boys.
yeah, yeah,
And so instead of getting what they need to get from them, which is
they
the
avoid.
knowledge and the teaching, they busy afraid and retreating instead of, in other words, you saying standing down, standing
Yeah.
on business, making them be respectful and taking
How
care
how
of
do how do you
them.
have a conversation to teach someone who's reacted?
You can't.
Can't.
Because they're a walking time bomb. You can't.
If you
They
strike
wouldn't
it,
even receive the information if you tried.
you right, you wouldn't. So why put yourself in harm's way trying to help somebody? First of all, who don't want to be helped.
Hmm.
Second of all, who carries a weapon so they can feel like a man. And that's why a lot of these young boys carry guns.
Oh, so you
They carry.
saying that them carrying the gun makes in their mind makes them believe that they are a man.
It's called steel courage.
Still cur Okay, okay.
Because we look when we was coming up, we didn't carry guns. We fought, and a lot of times after we fought, we were straight. Whoever lost, lost. We know where it stood at.
Yeah,
We didn't have to go in and come back
yeah.
and kill people. We didn't do that back then. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
If you could
because
throw
people
hammers,
is afraid of being embarrassed or what somebody gonna say about what went on. Like
no,
you said, it can only be one loser and one winner. And
exactly.
it is no way for it to be any other way. Somebody gonna win and somebody gonna lose.
But today, both of them gonna lose
Hmm.
because you might take his life,
Hmm.
but you lose yours as well.
Yeah, yeah. Oh,
You know,
that's so sad, man. When you
it
say
is,
it
but it's
like
true.
that, now don't nobody get a chance to walk away. Oh man, you man, because we didn't talked about so much. I got at least like three or four more questions, but you talked about mothers have started the downward spiral by telling their sons you are the man of the house. I think
That,
this is woo at a really good point to discuss now that we getting closer to winding down and ending the episode. Man, when you said that, I was like this, cause hold on. I may not like what you're saying, but if the shoe fit, I gotta put it on. You
uh-huh.
get what I'm saying? Because that's truth. That's walking and standing in truth and hold myself accountable, whether I played that part in it, you know.
Uh-huh.
And that resonated with me so well because I have told my son on multiple occasions that
And a lot of people is not going to be comfortable with this being said. But to tell a child that he's the man of a house is just like saying you my equal. It's just
mm,
like saying you my equal. Now, if you say you the male of the house, he still know his position. But when you say you the man of the house, you elevated him to a position that he's not ready for.
oh, okay.
You know
Mm,
what I'm saying?
that's so good. Okay. Okay. Yeah. Yeah. That's basically what he's saying. You got them growing up too fast. You put
Right.
more on them than they ready to accept and receive.
To tell a young I'm gonna put it this way. This is what I use. I determine that I use. To put a man in training into a full man position is unfair to that man in training. You
Mm,
understand what I'm saying?
yeah. Yeah.
So
Yeah.
every male that's born is considered a man in training.
Mm-hmm.
He has to accomplish certain attributes to become a man.
Mm-hmm.
But if someone tells him he's a man before he accomplishes those attributes have no value to him no more.
Oh,
Do you understand what I'm saying?
yeah. So I essentially robbed him of the things that come with him being a man
Yeah.
by
Now
putting him in that
we're not gonna
position.
say robbed him. Let's just say you delayed the process.
Okay.
We're
Okay.
gonna say you delayed the process
Delayed the
a lot
process.
longer than what it should have been.
Okay.
You know,
By
so
coddling, by babying, by okay.
by giving him that title,
Mm-hmm.
I'm not telling you not to love your son, but be careful with what you speak to your son.
Mm,
Because if you want to say something about the Bible, it says life and death is in the power of the tongue.
yeah. Yeah.
You when you say you the man of this house, that just elevated him from being the male of the house up here. Now he's equal to you. So that time you say, listen, I told you to be in this house at this time, it has no effect.
Yeah.
You
And
can't
that's
tell the man of the
not
house.
lying because that's the truth. That
Yeah,
is the truth. And that's exactly how my son had, for
yeah,
sure. Yeah.
yeah.
So I can definitely see where I played the factor in him having that ego, that with his chest out, that demeanor. Yeah.
Right,
I
right.
I I initiated it. That's what you're saying. By
Exactly.
saying certain things to him.
You
Okay.
gave you gave him a title, and when you gave him that title, it was like putting a crown on his head.
Mm, making him a king when he really was only a prince.
Exactly.
Okay.
Exactly.
That makes sense. You said young boys think they know it all. You're not a man, you're a man in training.
Exactly. And this is what any from the age you're born up until the age of 30, you are a man in training. And I'm gonna tell you why.
All the way to
Because
30?
all the
Oh,
way to 30.
I need to hear this.
All right.
Woo!
Because
Okay.
because remember at the beginning of before we started, I said that you have to introduce yourself to yourself every 10 years. Every 10
Mhm.
years you become a different person.
Yeah.
Correct? So from 0 to 10, you become a different person. You
Yeah.
about to go into puberty. So now you got hormones, you got feelings and everything that you got to deal with. From
Mhm.
10 to 20, that's when you start with the relationships and starting to make your own decision. Just because you hit 18, 19, or 20 does not make you grown. It makes you legal. And this is
Yeah, right. And that's a difference.
yeah,
I tell my kids for sure.
yeah. It makes you legal. Now, You're gonna go through more things from 20 to 30 than you went through in the other 20 years.
Show is. Woo! Show
Okay. So
is. Okay.
during that building process, you learn how to shut up and listen. You learn how to speak. Not as much as you listen, but you learn how to speak. And you learn how to speak direct. And the third thing you learn how to do is you learn how to carry your own. I
Mhm.
can't you can't tell me you a man at 20 years old and your mama's still paying your phone bill. I don't believe it.
You can't tell me you grown at all until you can take care of yourself without
E-
needing my help. That is what
Exactly.
makes you an adult. That's what gives me that, okay, I respect you as a grown up now because you taking care of business. You see what I'm saying? It's
Exactly.
not just because you reached a certain age, is what you're saying.
But
The age
see,
has
that
nothing to
that's
do.
what you're exactly right. But today's society, they think because when the parents don't want to deal with them no more, the first thing they say is you grown, you can go.
And we gotta stop doing that because
Exactly.
at 18, ain't no kid prepared to be in this world. They ain't went through enough. They ain't experienced enough. This is just my honest opinion. I feel like a decent number is 25 because I feel like
Uh,
you gonna go through so much stuff from the time you graduate from high school until you get to 25, where you
oh,
gonna be like, okay,
no, it's 25 is a given, but you don't learn until you're 30 because half the 25 years old is still clubbing, still sitting around spending most of their money on weed. I'm talking about today's generation.
I left at 17, so
I did too, but
no, I left on my own, and I am now still repeating the same thing based off of that one decision all those years ago
hmm
because it's a pattern that we create for ourselves in these different seasons that you're talking about in our life. Because that's what I say, it's a season.
it
You
is.
get to learn certain things within that season before you can elevate and move on to the next season. It's like taking a test and bubbling in all the wrong answers when you know the right ones, and then getting mad because you got to take the test again. You see what I'm saying?
That's
Like
right. That's right.
that's life, and like you said, this life is either lessons or blessings,
That's true. That's
and
true.
that's all. That it's no other way. We create all of these other extra things that we think that this life, exudes, but no. You here to learn as much as possible. Remain a student, because that's where humbleness come from. A lot of people need to learn how to humble themselves.
In today's society, it's not even possible.
Well, I'm so
It's not.
sorry to hear that because guess what? Life gonna give it to you.
Oh
I,
yeah.
I, life gonna give it to you. Whatever you don't know how to do for yourself, life gonna give it to you. You ain't got to worry about it. You gonna learn one way or another. I said that to
Or
say it's probably better to learn that earlier than later because life open this up. You be walking
yeah.
around with meat hanging out because life gonna open that chin up. You woo! I would rather just humble myself because I don't want to walk around with my chin open.
Humility is a lost art, man. There's no humility today.
Mm-hmm.
You
Yeah.
know. And then you got back when we was coming up, the older guys, they show you some respect, and you show them respect. The OG or whatever they used to call them back in the day. But the one thing that they didn't do is they didn't run from you. They didn't avoid you because they had something to give you. And a
Mm-hmm.
lot of times, even the ones that was doing wrong was trying to tell you to stay straight and do what you were supposed to do.
Mm-hmm.
But
Yeah.
today, it ain't working. It ain't working. You got people. You got grown men that's uh, committing crimes and having kids take the blame for them, thinking they ain't gonna get in trouble and all this stuff. So a
Mm-hmm.
lot of the time, because they were told that they were men and weren't ready. This man told him, "Man, you ain't gonna get no time. You ain't gonna get no time." And now he's sitting in jail for life. It happens. It
Mm-hmm.
happens.
For sure. Um, You said something about as parents, we need to work together and bring back villages to help raise these children.
That is true. That's if you walk down. Listen, if you walk down a street and you go to that first house and ask them to tell you five of their neighbors' name, they can't do it.
No, because neighbor has been took out of hood. It's not
Yeah,
neighborhood no more. It's just hood.
good.
Nobody wants
Exactly.
to be bothered with nothing or nobody because I just don't want to get caught up in nothing. I just don't want to, be involved if such and such find out that I said something. You know.
Or even the parent coming and getting on them because she said something to your child who was out there doing what they should have
Ooh,
been.
please talk about. Hey man, and I came front because I was one of them mothers too. Hold on now, I definitely was one of them mothers
Uh huh.
where I was like, hold
Where
on,
you at?
because I don't have no.
What happened?
What happened?
What happened?
You do? No, what
Banana.
happened? Wait,
Hello?
wait.
What?
Okay,
Hello?
can
Yo,
you
move.
see me?
Can I get those crackers over there?
No. Hello?
Can you see me? Can you hear me?
Well, can I?
Hello? I can't see you or hear you. I can't hear you.
Oh man, what happened? Oh shoot. Okay, he'll be back. He'll be right back. I have no idea what's going on. Hey, Cheeky. My son Chris in here. My daughter. My cousins. Hey, y'all. Oh, boom. There you go.
All right.
Okay, can you hear me and see me?
I can hear you now.
Okay, good. Um, you were saying you stop at the first house on the street and they can't tell you nothing about none of their neighbors
They
because
can't
they
tell you five neighbor names. No.
because they
Because
don't interact.
right, everything has become individual. Okay? You
Mhm.
can't say nothing to my child. Let me tell you something. I stay in a townhouse. Okay? And I tell all these parents around, if you see mine doing anything, you can let me know. And you can get on them about it. I have no problem with that. Because that's the
Yeah.
way I was raised. You know
Hmm.
what I'm saying? And see, and that what that does is that tells that child that you got people watching.
Right. Right. What is happening with my sound? Oh shoot, what is going on? We is really having some technical difficulties. Okay, say something, girl. It sounds so weird. Oh my goodness, what is going on? Why we having such a problem with the sound? Let me see. Yeah, let's see what happens. Cause we down to the wire. We over an hour. Pop out, Darryl, and pop back in. And let's see if it fixed the sound. Cause I don't know what's going on. Oh my goodness. I'm fixing the issue. Thank you, babe. Okay, here we go. Boom.
You got me?
Okay, that's it right there.
All right.
Um, it's true. I was one of them parents where it's like, and I still told people like, if you see my kids doing something, then tell me. But most people would take things to the extreme. You're not about to put hands on my child or nothing like that. I can do the handling of that. I don't like that. I feel like you overstepping your boundaries. It's one thing to tell me what's going on. It's a whole nother thing to try to portray as though you the parent. And some people actually believe that they are the parent to people kids. That's weird to me. And I'm not saying that you shouldn't have your adult pants on because we all gotta look out for each other.
Mm-hmm.
Period. You know, but sometimes people overstep those boundaries. Now it's a whole knockout drag out fight. And sometimes our kids line us up for stuff. Because my
This,
kids do it all the time. I'm telling you,
yeah.
I come outside about to pop off and fight somebody, and they then did some old crazy stuff. And now I look like a fool because I'm out here about to fight y'all, and I clearly didn't. get the memo on what was really happening. You
Yeah,
know,
yeah.
so you got to be careful. But a lot of people are just to themselves selfish. Is what I say. They don't feel the need to be bothered with people.
I'm gonna
Yeah,
say this, especially if you're a single parent and you raising males, you need a village.
right.
You need a village. Even if you create your own village,
Oh, you have to do that.
you need a
You
village.
have to do that. I think that's a must.
Yeah.
That's a
So
must because your family are you didn't get a chance to pick, but you
right.
absolutely have a choice to pick everybody within your village.
Yes, that is true.
Yeah.
That is true.
The last thing we talked about was parents need to stop trying to be friends with their kids and be parents.
And
Parents
that is a big
nowadays act like they scared of their kids.
that is big one.
Woo! This
Yeah.
is a good one to lead in the conversation with because I ain't
Yeah.
lying. Like I ain't play. I mean, again, my kids is just now grown. Everybody over a certain
Uh-huh.
age where I can actually have different interactions with them versus when they was in their teens or younger. I wouldn't dare. I'm not that mom. I consider myself to be the cool mom because all my kids' friends, no matter where we stayed, they all followed us.
Uh-huh.
I've always been looked at as a mother, and that's very rare nowadays because a lot of kids don't have respect for that many adults. You know what I mean? Like it has made me become that mother. You know what I'm saying? Whereas like we don't have big mama no more. You know what I'm
Right.
saying?
Right.
That's something that we definitely missing in the household for sure. Cause Big Mama took care of business and didn't play
E-
no games.
Exactly. Exactly. But I'm gonna say this. Uh my position, title, or whatever you want to call it, is solidified. It's
Hmm.
solidified. It don't change. It don't change no matter who he is. Even I had a young man call me the other day. He used to play basketball with my son when my son was playing basketball,
Hmm.
and told me that I was his father, even though I'm not his father. He went on, and
Hmm.
some of the things he told me, he said I wouldn't be where I'm at had you not been on me the way you were. You know,
Hmm.
so what I'm saying this to say, when you take your child and you raise him as a friend, again, you make that child your equal. So
Hmm.
when you talking crazy to your child and your child talk crazy to you, you can't wonder why because she doesn't know the hierarchy that she's supposed to be under.
Hmm.
She
Yeah.
just know that's my friend, and
Hmm.
people talk crazy to their friends. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? When their friends talk crazy to them, you know,
Yeah.
it's so it's so
And that's
that
what
that
it
is
is though.
that is a pandemic in the black community. People raising their kids like they're their friends, and then when they try to get control of them, it's too late. You can't.
Well, I'm a end the conversation with our culture is busy raising a bunch of dressed up dummies because we care more about labels and image more than we care about what we actually pouring into our children, and that's what they lacking. They not getting what they deserve. You have to pour into a child. You have to continuously be willing to learn new things yourself as a parent. You can't expect your kids to grow and you stay the same. You essentially have to grow with them.
Hmm.
And you have to be willing to learn some things that you may not have never learned before. And that's okay. If the end goal is to make sure that my kids is well rounded and that they getting everything that they need, because I believe discipline and love have to be balanced. And if it's
It
not, then
does.
that's how you screw your kids up. You
And
can't
but
just be whooping them all the time and never be affectionate, you know.
but do you know? I want to say this. Do you know that love is more
Yeah,
powerful than discipline?
yeah, yeah.
Love is
Because
way more
essentially
powerful than
you're gonna
discipline.
need it in every area of your life.
Uh-huh.
You
Even
gonna
even when
need
you
discipline
discipline,
in every area of your life. So
right?
absolutely you got to learn it. It ain't no way around it. What we do as people is try to avoid it,
It's
and then
easier
get
that way.
mad when we don't know how,
Yeah,
because
yeah,
we keep trying to avoid what we know need to be worked on, and that's something that we are accustomed to as a culture. Is we would rather run or ignore or dismiss our problems than to deal with them head on. I was told, Tanya told me that you have a major in psychology.
yes, I do.
That's dope. Yeah. So you definitely know some things.
Yeah,
Well,
I took psychology because I love people. I like people. I mean,
mm-hmm.
I think and knowing
Oh,
how people operate.
my daughter said that people spend money to impress people that they don't even like. Mm.
And they don't know. And
And
here's
that
the
they
thing.
don't know. Ooh.
Here's the thing. You got one of us will go spend $5,000 on a Birkin bag,
No.
and you got one of them that'll go get a shopping bag and put the $5,000 in the bag. You see the difference?
Yeah.
You get a
Because
paper
most
bag,
of
and you
these women out here that are labor whores, because that's what I call them. If you busy chasing a bag that costs that much, that's investments. Now, I don't
it
understand.
is.
I ain't never asked or expected no man to buy me no $5,000 purse, because first of all, it's certain things as a woman that we should be taking care of for ourselves. I'm not saying your man shouldn't be doing nothing for you, but that's outrageous right there. I would rather invest that $5,000 into a business investment before I'm about to be walking around with a $5,000 purse with nothing in it. Because that's
Exactly.
what the majority of y'all out here doing. Y'all got 15, 20, $30,000 bags and you broke. Your bank account in the negative. You ain't got nothing in the purse but a lighter, some eyelashes, and some gum. Why?
Yeah.
What we doing? What we doing? We got to do better. I
Try.
appreciate you, Darryl, so much. This was such a very enlightening and interesting conversation, man.
Thank you for having me.
I look forward to us talking about so much because, well, I got topics for days.
Just, hey, just give me a
Because it's
call.
so
I'm
much that we
available.
could talk about. It's so much we could talk about. But I definitely want to talk to you on the level of the awakening, because that's what's going on. I'm listening to everybody talk about this solar eclipse. Hey man, y'all better y'all better get right. Y'all better ground yourself. Y'all better pay attention to what's going on, because yet again, this is another distraction
It is.
for
And
us to not be focused on the mission at hand. And the mission at hand is that they're trying to kill off all humanity.
yeah.
And we
And they don't.
busy out here trying to make it about white, black, this and that, and it ain't got nothing to do with nothing. This is about all of us at this point. This ain't
And
about
and they
just one
started.
genre of people. No, no, we all in danger right now.
Yeah. And they started with the food.
Oh man, the chemtrails, the food,
Yeah.
what they currently doing right now with destroying these bridges is trying to block us in.
Isolators.
Yeah, because we didn't want to be on lockdown no more and follow it when they put it down the first time. So now it's like, well, if we destroy everything that connects us to each other, that means transport us from one state to another, then we literally stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't
And
think nobody paying attention to what's going on, because y'all only focused on the first Baltimore bridge. It has been at least 4 other ones since then.
and it has been over 45 food processing plants.
Mm-hmm. That they. Mhm.
They keep burning down. But yeah we can go there.
we we
We can
we
go
we
there.
gonna we gonna talk about these farms and stuff that Bill Gates is doing and turning into mosquito farms, and he wants to do GMO animals and all of this crazy stuff.
So
We can talk about some things because I'm clearly aware of what's going on. I just want to continue to educate my people, because they do stuff right in our face. And then we act like we didn't understand nothing that was going on. They put it in the movies.
um,
They put it
yeah,
in the shows. They let us
if you
know
want
what they about to do.
honestly. Honestly, if you want to know what's going on, watch The Simpsons. But anyway,
Yeah,
yeah,
for real, for
yeah,
real, for real.
yeah. So I just want to say this, and any mothers out there listening, be the woman you want your son to bring home, because you are the first example of a woman that he has.
Mm-hmm.
And always keep him in his position as the male of the house, and let him grow into the man of the house.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you put him there, he lost all them years of learning, growing, and becoming that man.
Mm-hmm.
Because once you tell a child that he's the man of a house, you put a enormous responsibility on him. And I don't think it's fair to him. So with that being said, be the woman you want your son to bring home to you, and allow your son to go through the learning process of being the man of the house. Let him remain the male of the house. And that's what I
Mm.
just.
Thank you so much.
All right.
Hey man, y'all stay tuned for future episodes. Daryl, I love you. Thank you for stopping by. Hey, it's been a pleasure, man.
All
I,
right.
I learned quite a bit. I'll see y'all next Friday for a new episode, new topic. Y'all stay tuned. I love y'all. Be safe out here. Peace.
Hey, peace.